The Moira Necrotic Orb rework is being reverted. Mercy gets another super jump rework or redesign, I guess. It's a little bit of a redesign, not a rework. And we've got some other news to cover. Things like Overwatch 2 sales figures and how well Overwatch League has been doing and all of that wonderful stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa. Okay, let's do this. Let's start with the Moira rework. Now, before I read off the details here, there's a little bit in this blog post where Blizzard say next week they plan to share more information about the data they've collected, but they wanted to share a quick update now. So I think that post is going to be really interesting. However, let's look at these Moira changes. So, after taking community feedback into account, we've decided to revert the Moira changes, namely the new Necrotic Orb ability. We'll dive deeper into this in an upcoming statistics blog, but the main reason for its removal is that the overall gameplay loop became too passive for many players. The power that Necrotic Orb brought to the table necessitated a long cooldown to make the effect impactful, but not overly frustrating to play against. However, this meant that many players would just hold the ability for the perfect moment, which had the side effect of decreasing the amount of cool stuff happening in moment-to-moment gameplay and shifting too much of it into healing. Necrotic Orb and all of Moira's compensation nerfs will be reverted in time for Overwatch League starting August the 11th. All right, there you go, guys. So the Moira rework is gone. Moira is going back to the good old Moira that we've always loved and known, and this is going away. Now, I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. Now, the reason why I wanted to cite the fact that we're getting a more detailed post next week is because I bet you they looked at the stats and hardly anybody was using the Necrotic Orb, and they probably thought, what's going on? And then they realized, oh yeah, I can see what's going on. People don't spam this ability. They try to time it for the perfect sort of moment, and maybe they don't get it right, maybe they die. And it's kind of an ability that players are not really using. Now, it is a massively powerful ability. You guys will see gameplay throughout this video of me playing with this Moira. And when you land this ability, it was absolutely devastating because targets just wouldn't do any damage. Like, you throw this into them, they do massively reduced damage, and then they just would die. Also, you could throw this at like a ton of ultimates. Like D.Va, as she ejects out of a mech, you could throw it at D.Va and it would stop the mech killing anybody basically because it does much less damage. You could throw it at Sigma when he's doing his gravitic flux. You could obviously throw it at Blade and Genji, throw it into attack visor. So anybody who's got a damage ultimate, you throw this at them and it would be game over for them. So Blizzard are getting rid of this. Now I want you guys to let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Is this good or is this bad? Now initially I was like, this ability seems mega powerful, but it kind of gives Moira maybe a little bit of an opportunity to pop off. However, Blizzard have decided it's not enough of an opportunity, and players are maybe waiting too much to use this ability, which is on a high cooldown, and when they whiff it, it doesn't feel great, and then, yeah, it's not good. And as Blizzard say, cool stuff isn't really happening, and they want more cool stuff happening in moment-to-moment gameplay. But let me know in the comments below. Next up is Mercy. Now, this Mercy change is actually really cool. So the thing to take away from this is they've listened to a ton of feedback, specifically from die-hard Mercy mains, because what they're doing is, well, let me read through it first, but the crouch is the big thing here. So, Super Jump is the result of a bug that occurred during Guardian Angel. This bug became a core mechanic of high-level Mercy gameplay, and it added a lot of depth to her movement. Our goal was to integrate it into her kit for Overwatch 2, so it wasn't as hidden for new players. We recognized that the first iteration on Guardian Angel didn't quite feel right, and we saw similar thoughts from our players. We're currently testing another iteration of Guardian Angel that includes the directional control we added in the beta, but it also allows Mercy to super jump in a similar way as before. This means cancelling the ability with crouch will launch her straight upwards without having to look in that direction. And that's big because that adds a ton more control to this, because when you're having to look with the charge bar and all that stuff, it was a bit dodgy. At least now, you know that if you're flying towards a target, you can just hit crouch and you will fly straight up in the air. That's going to add back the old super jump movement that Mercy's currently got in Overwatch 1 into Overwatch 2, but obviously make it a little bit easier to do. And I think this is, I don't think anyone's going to think this is bad. Maybe you will. If you do, guys, let me know in the comments below. But I think this is actually a nice little change for Mercy's super jump. Well, there we go. Those are the updates that we've got. Now, I want to jump into some other news. So, yeah, let's crack on with this. Now, I was told Overwatch is a dead game, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, it is not a dead game. Who would have believed this? Oh my god, it's earth-shattering news. What Overwatch is a game that doesn't have momentum. And once it gets momentum, and I'm hoping this momentum kicks in October the 4th, and then we just start getting content again, and it'll be awesome. Because think of it this way, Overwatch has had basically no content for almost 3 years, and people are still interested in the game. Not as much as they used to be, you know, interest is way, way down, but they're still interested. So what are we looking at here? This is the June 2022 NPD list of the top 20 best-selling games of the month in the United States. Now remember, this is the US only. However, it's a good indication of the interest, you know, the world has with the game, obviously with the exception of China because they've got their own gaming market. Now, look at this. Overwatch is number 5 on this list. And where was this, or where was Overwatch on the last version of this list? Well, they were 57th. That's a massive jump, a monumental increase in position, and that fires them up, you know, pretty close to Mario Strikers Battle Legend, Lego Star Wars, probably nowhere near Elden Ring because that game's amazing. But anyway, Overwatch, it's an old game, right? And it's fired itself back into the top 10, in fact, the top 5 of the top 20 best-selling games in the United States in June. Now, why is this? Well, it's the Watchpoint pack, right? And why is this a good thing for us as fans of Overwatch? Well, this shows you that people are still heavily interested in the game. And I've always believed this to be the case. The issue is because we don't have momentum, there isn't really any reason to play Overwatch. And there wasn't really any reason to play Overwatch as soon as they announced Overwatch 2 way back in 2019. Because if they're going to replace the game, then why would you carry on playing the game? You know, it's a really odd situation. So I'm hoping that come October the 4th, everyone just forgets about everything that's happened. Well, okay, we can't forget. You know, we need to not forget the past, never forget the history. But hopefully it's the start of something new. It's the start of constant updates, good updates, and hopefully Blizzard can deliver, because if they can, then I think the game will be in a good space probably in a year's time after that. I don't think we're going to see incredible, you know, I don't think it will be the top-selling game come October. In fact, how will they even gauge that? Because I guess the game's free to play. Maybe they'll do it the same sort of way they've done with the Watchpoint pack. Maybe there'll be another Watchpoint pack they try and sell. I don't know, but yeah, what I'm trying to say here is, guys, this is a decent sign for the game because there's still interest. And I think there's tons and tons of people out there that have played Overwatch and have stepped away and maybe are going to come back to check out some of, you know, the new content. Now, obviously, this Watchpoint pack gave you access to the beta immediately. So that was a sort of a big dangling carrot there. So people probably, you know, maybe were being tipped over the edge by, oh, I can maybe check out this, and then maybe they don't even come back for the launch of the game. But with it being free to play, they've kind of got no excuse not to. And if they've bought the Watchpoint back, they kind of get a load of currency anyway that they could spend on it. So I think this is okay. I wouldn't get like super excited about this, but this is a good sign. Overwatch is a strong IP. People really love the heroes. They love the gameplay. It's still very unique in terms of what it offers. So if you update it, Blizzard, I think everyone will be happy. So this is good news. Good news. And it's nice to get good news about Overwatch. So let's talk about Overwatch League. Now, we don't talk about Overwatch League that often on this channel, and I'm going to be completely honest why. The last time I did, I lost the most subscribers I'd ever lost in a day in over a year. That was the Genji video I made on Overwatch League, and it was like, wow, people really are reacting negatively to this. And why is that? Well, simply because people didn't have access to the game that was being played in Overwatch League. And that's a massive problem that they've got. They're playing Overwatch 2, nobody has access to Overwatch 2. Yeah, we get access intermittently when the betas come online, but when they go offline, as is the case now, waiting until launch, we can't play this. So you're so disconnected from it. It's like you're watching this parallel universe game of Overwatch play out. It's really weird. Anyway, I've got bad news. So Overwatch League's 2022 mid-season madness had very low viewership. In fact, it's had the worst viewership of this year for Overwatch League, which isn't fantastic. So this chart, what this shows you, but I will say this as well, it isn't fantastic, but I still think it's quite an achievement because of the things I just outlined. Like, people can't play this game, but there is still getting fairly decent viewing figures. Obviously, it's not decent if you compare, like, you know, apparently teams are paying $20 million for slots. If you add those all up, you're getting close to like $250 million. And then you get like average 37,000 viewers on your streams. You're going to want your money back. You know what I mean? That's not great return. And of course, that's not Overwatch League's problem. Well, it is Overwatch League's problem. I don't think it's entirely their fault. Yeah, Overwatch League has got problems or had problems in the past with its formats, with its broadcast, just getting people interested. But basically, it's because Overwatch had no content, so people were just not interested in the game, so they wouldn't watch the esports, would they? But yeah, as you can see, peak viewers were 70,367. The most popular game was the final, which goes without saying, San Francisco Shock against the Gladiators. Although I will say, some of the games from previous tournaments, it was not always the final game which had the most viewers. Like if it was two high-profile teams playing against each other, maybe if it was Dallas versus Gladiators, that'd probably have a lot more viewership than Gladiators versus I don't know. Shock probably would beat Dallas in that respect. I don't know, but I always view Dallas as having a really strong fan base. Like Philly, have got a strong fan base. Anyway, you can see the hours watched. The average the air time was 152 hours, which is a thing you need to remember for the next bit. Mid-season Madness fell far behind the Overwatch League's 2022 kickoff clash in terms of audience, and also became one of the least popular tournaments of 2021-2022. It has the worst results in terms of average viewers, and one of the worst results in terms of peak viewers. While Mid-season Madness is ahead of many tournaments in 2021, in terms of hours watched, it should be noted that due to the format change, the airtime of events in 2022 has increased by about 1.5 times, by about 50 to 60 hours. For comparison, the first tournament of 2022, Kickoff Clash, showed the best results in terms of hours watched and peak viewers. This was mostly because Blizzard allowed community streamers to broadcast some of the league's matches. The company abandoned this practice during Mid-Season Madness, causing a severe drop in indicators. So, what is happening with Overwatch League? Again, that was taken from Esports Charts website and the article on this. So the issue is that people cannot play this game. People cannot play the game that they're playing. I think Overwatch League should hopefully see a bit of an increase in viewership after October. Is it even on after October? That's the thing. I'm not even sure if it is. You know what? Let me just Google as I'm recording this audio. I'm very professional. Actually, yeah. Okay, so the final week starts October the 7th. So if the game launched on October the 4th, we're basically going into the final Countdown Cup qualifier weekend, and then we would go into the finals. I guess after that, and away we go. So yeah, we will kind of see the end of it. So maybe that's what will happen. Maybe we'll see a massive increase in viewership once people can play this game. But it's in a very odd position, Overwatch League, and in a very difficult position. And I think it's a position it's been forced into simply because Overwatch itself became, well, lost all momentum, didn't it? It didn't really get updates, so Overwatch League is the thing attached to it. And, you know, by process of symbiosis, it just gets dragged down with it, I guess. It's kind of sad. You guys let me know what you think about this in the comments below. A lot of you guys probably know, I did a ton of work with London Spitfire in Season 1 and Season 2 for Overwatch League, and even pre-Season 1 stuff. So it is a place which is quite close to my heart, but it's also, you know, the memories are maybe not the best, although we did win the Overwatch League in Season 1, but yeah. Alright guys, that about does it for the video. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Tell me about Overwatch League. Tell me what you think about the balance changes. Tell me what you think about the fact Overwatch was, well, not the top selling game, but one of the top selling games last month in the United States. And yeah. Alright guys, I've been Stylosa. You can catch me on everything which is Stylosa. Again, I'll do my best to keep updates coming to you guys when there's actually something to update, because frankly, there's not a lot going on. And I don't really want to just spam videos out for the sake of it. I think that's really mentally draining on my part as well, and probably to you guys as well if you've seen just tons of videos. So yeah. Alright guys, I will catch you on the next video. See you soon.